So I just spent the last 10 hours and 45 minutes on this tour called The Best of Paris. And well, it was interesting. It begs the question, was it worth the time? Was it worth the money? Expensive trip. Yeah, we'll walk you through it.
The link to put some reviews in there, so that's the best way to I guess put your experience and your feedback.
This message comes from the guest services desk. We would like to advise
Thank you.
And he was turning around at the same time and just missed underneath the head.
Well, here I am on the streets of Paris. Did a ship excursion in, so we took a big motor coach, about 3 hours. We've driven around the city. You know, you kind of know what you're going to get on a motor coach tour. You're hoping to see some sights out of the window. And so certainly that's what's happened so far. We just stopped for lunch at the Bouillon Republic. We had deviled eggs, chicken and rice, dessert called the Floating Island. I think we're next going to the Eiffel Tower for a bit of time off the bus. But yeah, pretty much what I expected, but it's really cool to be in Paris. So, we spent most of the day on the bus. We had about an hour for lunch. We got on the bus at 7:30 a.m. It is now 2:30 p.m. And so what is that, 7 hours with just a little bit of a lunch break. But here it is. What? you know, this might be the only thing we see in person in Paris today, but what? Bonjour!
Bonjour, comment ça va, mes amis?
Ah, ça va bien! The baguette of destiny! Done. Only about an hour, 2 hours off the bus. Do you think it's worth it just to see the Eiffel Tower?
I do like seeing the Eiffel Tower and the fountains behind us, as you can see here. However, it's really hilarious that out of all the places we've been, this is the smallest place that you can possibly buy a tourist item.
Oh, yeah.
Like a gift shop.
Not a lot of shopping here.
Like there's a million gift shops everywhere. They have one little stand in this great big huge area. It's kind of weird.
Boom, 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 boom. Back to the bus.
Museum, Versailles, so you have to come back to Paris. We tell you au revoir.
So I just spent the last 10 hours and 45 minutes on this tour called The Best of Paris. And well, it was interesting. Let me give you my decision tree on this one. This was the very last stop of our 12-day British Isles cruise, and it was my first time ever in France. There was a lot of options of things to do around the Harve, but for me, as a 51-year-old guy who just got to Europe for the very first time, whose head is filled with imagery of, you know, Eiffel Towers and Arc de Triomphe and Champs-Élysées, ever since I was in the 9th and 10th grade taking French somewhere in Southwest Virginia, I had to go to Paris. And there was a couple ways that you could get to Paris. We could have tried to do it on our own by taking a train. Either way, it was going to be a long haul to Paris. And so this excursion, $249. And certainly you got a lot of hours for this excursion. But if you looked at the footage there, you didn't get a lot of exposure. You can't take a tour like this expecting that you're going to see everything that you want to see. It's a golf shot kind of tour. You're hoping to have 1 or 2 good moments to take home with you, and I certainly had that. Of course, I couldn't see the, you know, the spires of Notre Dame very well. It was on the other side of the coach. I couldn't see the full, you know, breadth of the Louvre across the Seine because it was on the other side of the coach. But I did get that shot of the Arc de Triomphe. I mean, right when we turned onto the Champs-Élysées, I got a good minute of the Arc de Triomphe. Through a dirty window, but I got to see it, which was amazing. We even had 2 opportunities to go by Roland Garros. He was a French pilot, but Roland Garros is significant because that's where they have the French Open tennis tournament. I grew up watching tennis, and so I texted my brother a picture of Roland Garros, and you know, it was just a brief moment of seeing it out a window, but you know, you had the feels. I thought about my brother, I thought about my dad, I thought about Yvonne Lindell, which I haven't thought about Yvonne Lindell for a long time. Why sawdust in your pocket? I guess it was good for the grip. You know, that's what travel's about, I think. And then we did get time at the Eiffel Tower. I think it's going to be up to if I was a guy in my 20s or 30s and I was going to Paris, obviously I would go to the city and hang out and figure it out for, you know, more than the little time that we were there. But as someone who's unsure whether or not I'm ever going to get back to France at this point, you never know what life holds for you. I wanted to go to Paris. To me, the value was there, $249. It certainly was a long time on the bus. We also had about an hour delay because of an accident on the highway. The guide was nice. She was very informative. She probably described 50 to 100 things in Paris. It was a constant, you know, talk. And, you know, at the end of the day, I was in the City of Lights and I saw the Eiffel Tower fairly up close and got a, you know, a cheesy baguette and hung out with my friend Don. And, you know, what else is life about other than stacking up those memories with people that you care about and I feel like it was good. I feel like it was worth the time and it was worth the money. I don't know that will be true for everybody. I would love to hear your comments. This is Tony for La Vida Loca, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.